So the staff member who wrote a Facebook post criticizing the Obama's daughters at the turkey ceremony, the turkey pardoning ceremony last week, has resigned. The president's children, not just this president, President Obama's, President Bush's, President Clinton's children, have been considered off limits for a long time from political attacks. But it's not always been the case. It's been now 3 consecutive presidencies, but it wasn't always the case. I'm curious, Mark. The people have basically laid off the Obama daughters throughout his time in office. But is this what's happened with this woman? Is this the exception that proves the rule, or is this in some way augurs badly for an ugly scene over the course of the next 2 years?
Exception that proves the rules. What this woman did was she wrote a Facebook post over the line in the view of everyone, including herself. She apologized shortly after she wrote the thing. She took down the post. And yet she still had to quit. A Republican congressman. My hunch is she didn't quit on her own entirely. But for someone to be punished that way, there's a Republican congressman, to be punished that way for a staffer suggests to me that the hard work of the Clintons, the Bushes and the Obamas to put their children, in their 3 cases, their daughters, off limits, has worked. Because in the freak show environment in which we live, normally, someone like that wouldn't resign.
Well, it reminds me of an incident that I know you remember well from 2012 when Rick Santorum made a comment about Malia, I believe, who was going to take a vacation in Mexico when the State Department had said that Mexico was a dangerous place to go. And he made a kind of very bland comment about how she should live up to the president's own policy of the administration. And the administration came down on Rick Santorum like a 10-ton hammer. And they have really worked hard to enforce this rule in the tradition of their past two presidents. And I agree with you. It has become pretty much the law of the land, and I hope it stays the law of the land in the next presidency.
It's one of the few cases where bipartisan agreement, and the press has largely cooperated. This wasn't a reporter, but the condemnation was pretty strong, and she did lose her job.